A girl found out her husband was having an affair with her best friend. Then she felt hateful and sought revenge. 2025. In Shades of Vengeance. Set in Los Angeles, influencer Claire Montgomery discovers her husband Ethan's affair with his friend Riley and the criminal ties to his tech startup. Using an anonymous X account, she exposes them, sparking #JusticeForClaire. Her revenge destroys Ethan and Riley. The story begins. Everyone, please subscribe to my Sweet Revenge YouTube channel. The Hollywood Hills mansion pulsed with life, its glass walls reflecting the Los Angeles skyline like a mirror to ambition. Inside, a constellation of chandeliers cast fractured light across Claire Montgomery's perfect world. At 32, she was a vision in a silver gown, her blonde waves catching the glow as she glided through the crowd of influencers, agents, and tech moguls. Her laughter, bright, rehearsed, masked the anxiety that coiled in her chest like a snake. Tonight was her triumph. 2 million followers on X, her lifestyle vlogs a beacon of curated bliss. She raised a champagne flute, her voice honeyed but trembling at the edges, to dreams that shine brighter than the stars above Hollywood. The crowd cheered, their clinking glasses a symphony of envy and adoration. Claire's husband, Ethan Caldwell, 35, stood at her side, his tech CEO charisma a gravitational force. His tailored suit hugged his lean frame, his dark eyes scanning the room with a predator's ease. Connect Sphere, his startup, was the darling of Silicon Beach, whispered to rival X itself. Their marriage was LA's fairy tale, a glossy Instagram reel of red carpets and Maldives sunsets. But beneath the surface, Claire's world was a house of cards, trembling in the Santa Ana winds. She posed for a selfie with Riley Voss, her best friend and co-creator. Their smiles synchronized for the camera. Riley, 30, was all sharp cheekbones and emerald eyes, her auburn hair a cascade of calculated perfection. "We're unstoppable, babe," Riley purred, her voice laced with honey and something sharper. Claire forced a grin, ignoring the unease prickling her spine. Her phone buzzed with notifications, likes, comments, the digital heartbeat of her empire. But as she glanced toward the infinity pool, where city lights danced on the water, her breath caught. Ethan's hand grazed Riley's lower back. A touch too intimate, too deliberate, their heads tilted close, a secret shared in the flicker of poolside shadows. The room's pulse faded to a dull hum. Claire's heels clicked like a metronome as she wove through the crowd. Her champagne flute forgotten on a table. Her heart thudded, a war drum in her chest. She told herself it was nothing, paranoia, a side effect of the anxiety meds she hid in her vanity. But the guest room door at the end of the hall loomed like a guillotine. Her trembling hand pushed it open, and the world shattered. Ethan and Riley froze, their lips parted from a kiss that reeked of betrayal. Riley's dress was hiked up, Ethan's tie loosened, his hands possessive on her waist. The air was thick with their guilt, the scent of Riley's jasmine perfume choking Claire's lungs. "Claire," Ethan started, his voice smooth as venom. But she cut him off with a gasp that felt like a scream trapped in her throat. "What is this?" Her words cracked, raw and desperate. Her eyes darted between them, searching for an explanation that wouldn't gut her. Riley smirked, adjusting her dress with a casual flick, her gaze cold as marble. "Don't make a scene, Claire, you're embarrassing yourself." Ethan stepped forward, his charm a well-worn weapon. "You're overreacting, sweetheart. It's nothing. You've been stressed, haven't you? The pressure, the pills." He reached for her. But Claire flinched, her back hitting the doorframe. The word nothing echoed in her skull, a blade twisting deeper with each repetition. "Don't touch me," she hissed, her voice low but lethal. "You're lying, both of you." The party's laughter drifted through the walls, a cruel reminder of the facade she'd built. Ethan's eyes narrowed, calculating. "You need to calm down, Claire. People are watching." His tone was a warning, laced with the power he wielded over her life, her brand, her image, her sanity. Riley's laugh was a dagger. "She's always been dramatic, Ethan. You said so yourself." Claire's vision blurred, tears burning like acid. She stumbled back into the hall, the crowd's faces a kaleidoscope of pity and curiosity. Her phone slipped from her hand, clattering to the marble floor, its screen lighting up with a notification, a new video, posted to her X account. She hadn't posted anything tonight. Dread pooled in her gut as she snatched it up, her fingers shaking as she tapped the link. The video was her, but not her. It showed Claire screaming at Ethan in their bedroom. Her face contorted, her words slurred, a manic caricature of herself. "You're ruining everything," the Claire on screen shrieked, throwing a glass that shattered off camera. The footage was doctored, stitched together from private moments, but seamless enough to fool the world. The caption read, "The real Claire Montgomery." Hashtag Claire meltdown. Comments flooded in. "She's unhinged. Poor Ethan. Cancel her." Claire's knees buckled, the phone slipping again as she sank against the wall. The partygoers whispered, their phones glowing with the same video. Ethan appeared at her side, his hand on her shoulder a mockery of comfort. "I told you to calm down," he murmured, his voice low enough for only her to hear. "You brought this on yourself." She looked up, her eyes meeting his, cold, triumphant, a king surveying his fallen queen. Riley stood behind him, her smirk a silent victory. The room spun, the chandelier's light now a blinding accusation. Claire's empire, her followers, her sponsors, her identity, was crumbling. And the man she loved had lit the match. By dawn, the damage was catastrophic. Sponsors dropped her with sterile emails. Her follower count plummeted, each unfollow a stab to her heart. X was a battlefield. Hashtag Claire meltdown trending alongside cruel memes. Ethan slept in the guest room, his suitcase packed for a business trip. Riley's latest post, a serene yoga pose on Malibu Beach, captioned "New beginnings" was a final twist of the knife. Claire stood alone in their mansion's master suite, the city sprawling below like a glittering lie. Her reflection in the mirror was a stranger, hollow eyes, smudged mascara, a woman unmoored. The anxiety she'd fought for years roared back, a tidal wave drowning her resolve. Her fingers brushed the bottle of pills on her nightstand, but she recoiled, rage flaring through the despair. This wasn't her end. Ethan and Riley had underestimated her. They'd built her cage, but she'd forged the key. The Santa Ana winds howled outside, carrying the scent of wildfire and vengeance. Claire's lips curved, not a smile but a promise. "You think you've won," she whispered to the empty room, her voice a spark in the dark. "But I'm just getting started." The Venice Beach apartment reeked of salt and despair, its peeling paint and creaking floorboards a cruel downgrade from the Hollywood Hills mansion Claire Montgomery once called home. The ocean's roar seeped through the cracked window, a relentless reminder of her fall. At 32, Claire was a ghost of her former self, her blonde hair tangled, her eyes bloodshot from sleepless nights haunted by hashtag Claire meltdown. The viral video, a vicious lie orchestrated by her husband, Ethan Caldwell, and her former best friend, Riley Voss, had gutted her empire. 2 million followers had dwindled to a few 100,000. Her inbox flooded with hate, psycho, fraud, give it up. Claire, her phone, once a lifeline to her curated world, now sat on the chipped kitchen counter, its notifications a taunting pulse. She stared at it, her fingers twitching, the weight of betrayal heavier than the smog-choking LA's skyline. Outside, the Venice boardwalk thrummed with life, street artists hawking neon portraits, skaters weaving through tourists, the air thick with weed and fried food. Claire stood at her window, her reflection ghostly against the glass. The Santa Ana winds rattled the panes, carrying whispers of ash from distant wildfires, mirroring the fire smoldering in her chest. Anxiety clawed at her, a beast she'd tamed with pills and therapy. But now it roared, fed by Ethan's cold dismissal, "You're overreacting, sweetheart," and Riley's smug laugh, a sound that looped in her nightmares. She pressed her forehead to the cool glass, her breath fogging the pain. "I'm not done," she whispered, her voice a fragile thread of defiance. The door buzzer jolted her, a harsh buzz like a wasp trapped in her skull. Maya Torres, her 28-year-old assistant, stood in the hallway, her brown eyes fierce behind thick glasses, her backpack slung over one shoulder. Maya was a rarity in LA, loyal, unpolished, her hoodie and ripped jeans a rebellion against the city's gloss. "You look like hell," Maya said, pushing past Claire with a takeout bag of tacos from a boardwalk stand. The scent of cilantro and grilled carne asada filled the room. A fleeting comfort. Claire forced a smile, but it cracked like dry earth. "Thanks for the pep talk." Maya dropped onto the sagging couch, her laptop already open, its screen casting a blue glow across her sharp features. "I'm not here to coddle you, Claire. Ethan and Riley, they're playing dirty, but we can play dirtier." Her fingers danced across the keyboard, pulling up encrypted files she'd been digging into for days. Claire sank beside her, the couch's springs groaning under her weight. Her heart thudded, a mix of dread and hope. "What did you find?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper, as if speaking too loudly might shatter the fragile chance at redemption. Maya's eyes gleamed with the thrill of discovery. Connect Sphere isn't just Ethan's shiny startup. It's a front. She turned the laptop, revealing a spreadsheet of coded transactions, numbers that didn't add up. Accounts linked to shell companies in Panama. Claire's breath hitched as Maya clicked to a grainy photo. Ethan in a downtown LA bar, shaking hands with a man whose tattoos screamed cartel. He's laundering money, Claire, for some heavy hitters south of the border. This is bigger than you, me, or Riley's fake tears. Claire's hands trembled as she scrolled through the evidence. Each line a nail in Ethan's coffin. Bank records, encrypted emails, a trail of greed that stretched from Silicon Beach to Tijuana. Her mind flashed to Ethan's charming smile at their gala. His hand on Riley's waist. His lie, it's nothing. It wasn't nothing. It was a betrayal woven into the fabric of their life. A tapestry of lies that had cost Claire her career, her sanity, her identity. Rage surged, hot and sharp, drowning the anxiety for the first time in weeks. "He thinks he's untouchable," she said, her voice low, lethal, "but he's not." Maya leaned forward, her tone urgent. "We can take him down. But it's dangerous. These guys don't play. You leak this, they'll come for you." Claire met her gaze, her blue eyes burning with a fire that hadn't sparked since the night of the party. "Let them try," she said, her words a vow. "I've got nothing left to lose." The plan was reckless, but Claire craved it like air. She created an anonymous X account, @Truth in Shadows, her fingers hovering over the keyboard as she typed her first post, a screenshot of a single transaction. $500 wired to a Cayman Islands account. Captioned, "Who's really behind Connect Sphere? Follow the money." Her thumb hesitated over the post button, her heart pounding so hard she felt it in her throat. The room seemed to close in, the walls stained with memories of Ethan's voice, Riley's smirk, the world's judgment. But then she thought of her followers, strangers who'd once adored her, now mocking her, and pressed post. The screen flashed, the tweet live, a spark in the digital void. Within hours, @Truth in Shadows gained traction. Conspiracy accounts retweeted it, gossip blogs speculated, and anonymous DMs flooded in with tips about Connect Sphere's shady deals. Claire's phone buzzed relentlessly, each notification a jolt of adrenaline. She paced the apartment, the hardwood creaking under her bare feet, the ocean's roar a distant war cry. Maya watched her, worry creasing her brow. "You sure about this, Claire? Once you start, there's no going back." Claire stopped, her reflection caught in a cracked mirror by the door. Her face was gaunt, her eyes hollow, but there was a glint of something new, purpose. "I'm sure," she said, her voice steady now, a blade honed by pain. "They took everything from me. Now I take it back." Outside, the Venice night pulsed with life. The boardwalk's neon lights flickering like a heartbeat. The Santa Ana winds howled, carrying the scent of salt and smoke, a warning of fires yet to come. Claire's phone glowed with a new notification, a retweet from a major X account, amplifying her post to thousands. The spark had caught, and the inferno was coming. She didn't know if it would save her or destroy her. But for the first time since the fall, Claire Montgomery felt alive. Los Angeles burned with whispers, its palm-lined streets alive with the electric hum of scandal. Claire Montgomery's anonymous X account, @Truth in Shadows, had ignited a firestorm, each cryptic post about Connect Sphere's corruption fanning the flames. The city's glitterati, influencers, tech bros, and gossip bloggers devoured her leaks, their phones glowing with speculation about Ethan Caldwell's shady startup. At 32, Claire was no longer the fallen queen of Hollywood Hills, she was a phantom, striking from the shadows of her Venice Beach apartment. The cramped space, with its salt-stained walls and flickering fluorescent light, was her war room. Her blonde hair, now pulled into a messy bun, framed a face carved by sleepless nights and unrelenting rage. Her phone buzzed incessantly on the scarred coffee table, each notification a spark in the inferno she'd unleashed. The ocean's roar outside mingled with the Santa Ana winds, a howling chorus that matched the storm in her chest. Claire paced the hardwood floor, her bare feet slapping against the creaks, her heart a drumbeat of adrenaline and dread. Anxiety, her old enemy, clawed at her lungs, but she crushed it with the memory of Ethan's betrayal, his lips on Riley Voss's, His cold lie. It's nothing. Her former best friend, Riley, 30, was now LA's darling. Her Instagram reels of yoga retreats and tearful, truth, videos painting Claire as a deranged stalker. She's obsessed with me, Riley had sobbed in a livestream. Her emerald eyes glistening, racking up 1 million views. The internet was a battlefield. Hashtag justice for Claire clashed with hashtag Riley deserves better. Splitting X into factions, Claire's followers and strangers alike loathe her. Their venom a daily wound. But she wasn't here for their love. She was here to burn Ethan's empire to the ground. Maya Torres, her 28-year-old assistant and hacker, sat cross-legged on the sagging couch, her laptop casting a blue glow across her sharp features. Her hoodie was a shield against LA's gloss, but her eyes blazed with the thrill of their crusade. We're close, Claire, Maya said, her voice taut with excitement as she pulled up a new file, a grainy surveillance video from a Skid Row alley. Ethan, in his pristine suit, handed a duffel bag to a tattooed man with a cartel scar. This is the kill shot, Maya whispered, zooming in on Ethan's face. His smirk a betrayal etched in pixels. We drop this at his gala. And Connect Sphere's done. Claire's breath caught, her fingers gripping the couch's frayed edge. The Walt Disney Concert Hall Gala. A glitzy launch for Connect Sphere's IPO. Was Ethan's crowning moment. She could see him now, charming the crowd under the hall's silver curves. Riley at his side, their lies polished to a sheen. The thought of their smugness fueled her. A fire hotter than the wildfires licking the hills. We're doing it, Claire said, her voice low, a blade unsheathed, but we need to be there. In person. Maya's eyes widened. You're crazy. Ethan's got security tighter than Fort Knox. And Riley's got half the city eating out of her hand. Claire's lips curved, not a smile but a predator's baring of teeth. Exactly. They won't see me coming. The plan was audacious. Maya forged an invite, hacking the gala's guest list to slip Claire in as a +1 for a minor investor. Claire spent hours in front of her cracked mirror, transforming herself, dark eyeliner, a borrowed black dress that hugged her frame, her hair tucked under a sleek bob wig. Her reflection was a stranger, fierce and unrecognizable, a warrior born from the ashes of betrayal. Her phone buzzed with a warning from Dr. Nathan Brooks, her therapist, his text a plea. Claire, stop this. Revenge will destroy you. She deleted it, her jaw tight. Nathan's calm voice, his probing questions about her anxiety, felt like another cage. She trusted no one but Maya now. The night of the gala arrived, Los Angeles shimmering under a blood-orange sunset. The Walt Disney Concert Hall loomed like a silver wave, its curves catching the city's glow. Claire slipped through the crowd, her forged invite scanned without a hitch. The air inside was thick with perfume and ambition, chandeliers casting diamonds of light across tailored suits and sequined gowns. Ethan stood on the stage, his voice smooth as whiskey, pitching Connect Sphere as the future of connection. Riley, in a red dress that screamed power, clapped beside him, her smile a weapon. Claire's stomach twisted, but she forced herself to breathe, her phone hidden in her clutch, live streaming to Truth and Shadows. Maya, holed up in a nearby cafe, texted, ready to hack the screens. Say the word. Claire's fingers trembled as she typed. Now, the hall's massive LED screens flickered, Ethan's speech faltering as the Skid Row video erupted into view. His face, unmistakable, filled the room, the cartel deal exposed in grainy detail. Gasps rippled through the crowd, phones rising like a sea of fireflies to record the chaos. Ethan's eyes darted, his charm cracking. This is a lie, he shouted. But his voice was drowned by murmurs of shock. Claire stepped into the spotlight, her wig discarded, her blonde hair catching the light. The crowd parted, their whispers a hiss of recognition. This is the man you idolize, she said, her voice cutting through the din, amplified by the mic she'd grabbed from a stunned tech. Ethan Caldwell built Connect Sphere on blood money, and Riley Voss helped him hide it. She held up her phone, the live stream spiking to millions of viewers. Hashtag justice for Claire trending worldwide. Riley's face paled, her red lips parting in a silent scream. Ethan lunged for the mic, but security hesitated, the crowd's mood shifting. You're delusional, Claire, Riley shrieked, her voice shrill, cracking the veneer of her innocence. You've been stalking me, harassing me. Tell them, Ethan. But Ethan's silence was damning. His eyes locked on Claire, a mix of fury and fear. The crowd's phones kept rolling. X exploding with clips of the confrontation. Claire felt a surge of triumph, her heart soaring as the inferno consumed her enemies. But the fire turned on her. A new video flashed across the screens, Maya's hack overridden by an unknown source. It was Claire, years ago, in Dr. Nathan Brooks's office, her voice trembling. I cheated on Ethan once. It was a mistake, but I can't tell him. The words echoed, a betrayal laid bare. The crowd's gasps turned to jeers, their sympathy curdling. Claire's knees buckled, her phone slipping from her hand. The live stream cutting out. Nathan, he'd sold her out, her confessions weaponized against her. Riley's smirk returned, a viper's victory. See, she called to the crowd. She's the liar. Claire stumbled off the stage, the hall's silver walls closing in. The chandelier's light now a blinding accusation. Outside, the LA night swallowed her, the city's pulse mocking her defeat. Her phone buzzed with Maya's frantic texts. I'm sorry. They hacked us back. Where are you? But Claire couldn't answer, her breath hitching in sobs. The inferno she'd ignited had scorched her too, her triumph tainted by Nathan's betrayal, her past a noose around her neck. The Santa Ana winds howled, carrying the scent of ash and ruin. As Claire vanished into the shadows, the fire still burning, but at what cost? The Los Angeles dawn broke like a bruise, its purple haze smearing the skyline as Claire Montgomery stood on the Venice Beach boardwalk. The ocean's roar a hollow echo of her rage. At 32, she was a shadow carved by betrayal, her blonde hair limp against her shoulders, her eyes sunken from nights spent staring at the ceiling of her cramped apartment. The city pulsed with the fallout of her war. Ethan Caldwell, her husband, had fled to a non-extradition haven. His tech empire, Connect Sphere, gutted by FBI raids. Riley Voss, her former best friend, faced charges for aiding Ethan's cartel money laundering. Her influencer crown shattered. Claire's anonymous X account, at Truth in Shadows, had sparked a revolution. #Justice for Claire trended globally, her name a rallying cry for the betrayed. But victory was a bitter ash in her mouth, her heart a battlefield scarred by loss. The Santa Ana winds howled, carrying the acrid scent of distant wildfires, a mirror to the ruin smoldering within her. Her phone, clutched in trembling hands, glowed with notifications, fan art, death threats, pleas for interviews. The world hailed her as a feminist avenger. But Claire felt like a fraud. The gala at the Walt Disney Concert Hall, where she'd exposed Ethan's crimes, replayed in her mind, the crowd's gasps, Riley's shriek, the sting of Dr. Nathan Brooks's betrayal. Nathan, her therapist, had leaked her confession of a past affair, turning her triumph into a public crucifixion. She's the liar, Riley had sneered, and the crowd's jeers still echoed, a chorus of judgment that drowned her defiance. Claire's anxiety, a beast she'd caged for years, now clawed free, its talons sinking into her chest. She pressed her palms to her temples. The boardwalk's neon signs, tattoos, tacos, tarot, blurring through tears she refused to let fall. Maya Torres, her 28-year-old assistant and hacker, burst through the apartment door, her hoodie soaked from an early morning drizzle. Her brown eyes, usually fierce, softened with worry. Claire, you can't keep doing this, Maya said, dropping a bag of coffee beans on the counter, the rich aroma fleetingly grounding. You're trending, yeah, but you're falling apart. Claire turned, her voice raw, a wound laid bare. I'm fine, Maya, we won, didn't we? Ethan's gone, Riley's done, but her words cracked, betraying the lie. Maya stepped closer, her voice urgent. You call this winning? You haven't eaten in days. You're jumping at shadows. And your mom. Claire flinched, the mention of her mother, Diane, a knife to her heart. Diane, 58, had begged her to stop the crusade weeks ago, her voice trembling over the phone. You're killing yourself, Claire, and you're breaking us. Claire had hung up, too consumed by vengeance to listen. Now Diane lay in Cedar Sinai, her heart attack triggered by the stress of Claire's public war. The memory of Diane's pale face, tubes snaking from her arms, haunted Claire's dreams. Don't, Claire snapped, her voice a lash. Don't talk about her. Maya's jaw tightened, but she backed off, her silence louder than words. Claire sank onto the sagging couch, the springs groaning under her weight. Her apartment was a shrine to her obsession, printouts of Ethan's bank records pinned to the wall. A cracked mirror reflecting her hollow gaze. A half-empty bottle of anxiety pills on the coffee table. She grabbed her phone, scrolling through X, the platform that had saved and damned her. A new post from Riley. Posted from jail. Twisted the knife. Claire Montgomery ruined my life with her lies. Don't let her fool you. The comments were a war zone. Some defended Claire. Others called her a hypocrite. Her affair with a stranger years ago now a weapon against her. I was trying to save my marriage. She whispered to the empty room. But the words felt hollow. A plea to a jury that had already convicted her. A knock at the door startled her. Her pulse spiking, she opened it to find Dr. Nathan Brooks, 40. His calm demeanor a mockery of her chaos. His tailored blazer and kind eyes. Once a refuge, now screamed betrayal. Claire, we need to talk, he said, his voice smooth, a therapist's practiced cadence. She gripped the doorframe, her knuckles white. You sold me out, Nathan. My sessions, my secrets, you gave them to Riley. Her voice trembled, rage and hurt colliding. Nathan's face softened, but his eyes flickered with something, guilt. Or calculation. I was trying to protect you. He said, you were spiraling. Claire, I thought exposing your affair would force you to stop. Protect me? She spat, her voice rising, a storm breaking. You destroyed me. That video was private. Nathan, you swore you'd keep it safe. The hallway echoed with her words. A neighbor's door creaking open. Nathan stepped closer, his voice low, urgent. You're not seeing clearly. This vendetta, it's eating you alive. Your mother's in the hospital. Your career's gone, and you're alone. Is this worth it? Claire's breath hitched, his words a mirror to her fears. She slammed the door in his face, her chest heaving, the wood rattling in its frame. Alone, the word clung to her, a leech draining her resolve. She stumbled to the window, the ocean's gray churn mirroring her turmoil. Her phone buzzed with a voicemail from Diane's doctor, Ms. Montgomery. Your mother's stable, but she's asking for you. Claire's knees buckled, a sob tearing free. She saw Diane's face, lined with worry, softened by love, begging her to come home. But Claire had chosen vengeance over family. And the cost was a wound that wouldn't heal. She dialed Maya, her voice breaking. I need to see her. Now. The drive to Cedars-Sinai was a blur. LA's freeways a snarl of headlights and horns. Claire gripped the steering wheel, her nails digging into her palms. The hospital's sterile glow looming like a judgment. Diane lay in a private room, her silver hair fanned across the pillow, her eyes fluttering open as Claire entered. Claire, Diane whispered, her voice frail but warm. Claire sank into the chair beside her, grasping her mother's hand, its warmth a lifeline. I'm so sorry, Mom, she choked out, tears spilling. I didn't mean to hurt you. Diane's fingers tightened, her gaze piercing. You're my daughter, Claire, but you're lost. This fight, it's not you. Claire shook her head, her voice a plea. They took everything. Mom, Ethan, Riley, they broke me. Diane's eyes softened, but her words were firm. Then rebuild, sweetheart, not with hate, but with love, for yourself, for us. The words landed like a blow, cracking Claire's armor. She buried her face in Diane's hand, sobs racking her body. The hospital's hum a distant requiem. Back in Venice, Claire sat on her apartment floor, surrounded by the wreckage of her crusade. Maya arrived, her laptop open, a new plan gleaming in her eyes. Nathan's been leaking patient records to tabloids for years, she said, pulling up files. We can expose him. Claire, one more strike. Claire stared at the screen, the temptation a siren's call. But Diane's words echoed, a tether pulling her back. No, she said, her voice steady, a decision forged in pain. Enough. She deleted at Truth and Shadows, the account's blue glow fading. Each click a release of the fire that had consumed her. The ocean roared outside, indifferent to her surrender. Claire's reflection in the window was a stranger, scarred, but standing. Ethan was gone. Riley was broken. But Claire's war had cost her more, her trust, her family, her peace. The Santa Ana winds whispered of fires dying out, leaving only embers. Claire didn't know what came next. But for the first time, she wasn't running toward destruction. The reckoning was hers, and it was time to face it. Los Angeles shimmered under a late spring sun, its skyline a mosaic of glass and ambition, softened by the golden haze of morning. Claire Montgomery stood on the Venice Beach boardwalk, the Pacific's restless churn a quiet companion to her thoughts. At 32, she was no longer the influencer queen nor the vengeful phantom of At Truth and Shadows. Her blonde hair, cropped to her chin, danced in the salt-laced breeze. Her face bare of the makeup that once masked her cracks. The scars of her war, Ethan Caldwell's betrayal, Riley Voss's venom, Dr. Nathan Brooks's treachery, lingered in the shadows of her eyes. But they no longer defined her. Her hands, once clenched around a phone that fueled her rage, were empty, her fingers tracing the air as if searching for something new. The Santa Ana wines, once harbingers of wildfire, now carried the scent of eucalyptus and possibility, whispering of a city that offered second chances to those brave enough to claim them. The boardwalk buzzed with life, skaters weaving through tourists, street musicians strumming hopeful chords, the air thick with fried dough and sunscreen. Claire's sneakers scuffed the weathered planks, her steps slow, deliberate, as if testing the ground beneath her. 6 months had passed since the Walt Disney Concert Hall Gala, where she'd exposed Ethan's cartel Tide Connects fear, igniting #Justice for Claire. Ethan had vanished to a Caribbean hideout. Riley faced trial, and the FBI dismantled their empire. But Claire's victory had been a Pyrrhic one. Her mother, Diane, nearly died of a heart attack. Her therapist's betrayal exposed her past affair, and her mental health had teetered on collapse. The world had moved on, new scandals, new hashtags, but Claire carried her wounds quietly, each one a lesson etched in her soul. She stopped at a cafe tucked off Oceanfront Walk, its mismatched chairs and driftwood tables a haven from the city's gloss. The scent of freshly ground coffee wrapped around her like a warm blanket as she settled at a window seat. Her reflection faint against the glass. Her phone, a new one with no X app, lay dormant, its silence a hard-won peace. She'd started therapy again, with a new doctor, Dr. Elena Ruiz, whose gentle questions probed without judgment. "What do you want, Claire?" Elena had asked last week, her voice a steady anchor. Claire had stared at the office's potted fern, its leaves catching the light, and whispered, "To feel like me again." The words had felt foreign, a map to a destination she'd forgotten. The cafe door jingled, and Maya Torres strode in, her 28-year-old energy a spark in the quiet space. Her hoodie was traded for a sleek blazer, her glasses swapped for contacts, a sign of her new role as founder of a cybersecurity startup inspired by their crusade. "You're early," Maya teased, sliding into the chair opposite Claire, her brown eyes gleaming with pride. "Look at you, all punctual and zen." Claire's lips curved, a real smile, soft but genuine. "Don't get used to it," she quipped, her voice lighter than it had been in years. Maya leaned forward, her tone softening. "Seriously, Claire, you look okay, like, actually okay." Claire's fingers traced the rim of her coffee mug, its warmth seeping into her skin. "Okay's a start," she said, her voice tinged with cautious hope. "I'm trying, Maya. Therapy, no social media, no revenge plots." She laughed, a brittle sound, but Maya's grin was a lifeline. "Good, because I'm not babysitting you through another cartel takedown," Maya said, her sarcasm a familiar comfort. But her eyes searched Claire's. A silent question. "Are you really healing?" Claire met her gaze, her voice steady. "I'm done running from myself. That's enough for now." The conversation shifted to Maya's startup, her voice bubbling with plans for ethical hacking workshops. Claire listened, her heart swelling with pride for the woman who'd stood by her when the world turned away. But a pang of guilt lingered, her war had nearly consumed Maya too. "I'm sorry," Claire said suddenly, her words cutting through Maya's chatter. Maya's brow furrowed. "For what?" Claire's eyes dropped to her mug, her voice raw. "For dragging you into my mess. You could have walked away, but you didn't." Maya reached across the table, her hand firm on Claire's. "You didn't drag me. I chose to stay, and I'd do it again." The words landed like sunlight, warming the cold corners of Claire's heart. Her phone pinged, a rare sound now, and Claire glanced at it. A text from Diane. "Lunch at my place today? Miss you." Diane had moved to a cozy bungalow in Santa Monica, closer to Claire, their bond slowly mending. The memory of Diane in Cedars Sinai, her frail hand gripping Claire's, still stung, but their weekly lunches were a bridge across the pain. "I'll be there," Claire typed, her fingers steady, a promise kept. She looked up, catching Maya's knowing smile. "Go see your mom," Maya said, standing, "and call me when you're ready to join my startup. I could use a PR genius." Claire laughed, the sound freer now. "Dream on, Torres." Alone again, Claire sipped her coffee, The cafes hum a soothing backdrop. Her gaze drifted to the boardwalk, where a young couple posed for a selfie, their laughter echoing the life she'd once chased. Her old self, the influencer queen, tethered to likes and followers, felt like a ghost, fading with each day she lived offline. But the absence of X was a quiet gift. No more hate comments, no more viral lies, no more at Truth and Shadows. She'd deactivated the account after Diane's heart attack, each click a release of the fire that had burned her soul. The world still whispered her name, #justice for Claire lingered in corners of X, but Claire no longer listened. A new email pinged, its subject line a jolt. Netflix documentary proposal, the Claire Montgomery story. The producer's words were slick, promising a raw, empowering narrative to millions. Claire's pulse quickened, the old thrill of fame flickering. She could reclaim her story, rewrite the narrative, become the hero again, but her finger hovered over delete. Diane's voice echoing, rebuild with love, not hate. She deleted the email, her breath slow, deliberate. Her truth wasn't a commodity anymore. It was hers, fragile but real, to hold in the quiet moments like this. The cafe's radio switched to a soft acoustic song, its lyrics about starting over weaving through Claire's thoughts. She thought of Ethan's cold eyes, Riley's smirk, Nathan's betrayal, each a wound that had shaped her. But she thought, too, of Diane's smile, Maya's loyalty, Alina's patience. The scales were tipping, pain giving way to possibility. She stood, leaving a tip on the table, the coins glinting like small promises. The door jingled as she stepped onto the boardwalk, the sun warm on her face, the ocean's rhythm a heartbeat of renewal. Los Angeles stretched before her, a city of dreams and ruins, its palm trees swaying like sentinels of second chances. Claire walked toward the pier, her steps lighter, her heart open to the unknown. A young girl on a skateboard zoomed past, her laughter a spark of joy. And Claire smiled, unprompted, unfiltered. The dawn was hers, not a blaze of vengeance, but a quiet glow of hope. She didn't know where the path led, but for the first time, she trusted herself to find it. If you find the story interesting, please like and share this video and leave a comment with your opinion. Don't forget to subscribe to Sweet Revenge and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos.